Welcome to Artists. My name is Virginia Bozak. I'm a member of the Livonia Arts Commission. In today's interview, you will be hearing from Mary Ann Relyea and Mary Kehoe. Welcome to the program.
I've been painting ever since I can remember. As a child, my parents watched for me to see if I would become an artist or have any artistic tendencies, because my grandfather and his two brothers were made their living by art way back at the turn of the century. So it's been a long time. I've been taking art lessons since I was 9 years old.
And I've been painting since I was a little girl in grade school. My school did not offer arts, but I painted on my own, and then I went on to high school, 4 years of art. Our Lady of Mercy, where Mary Ann and I met each other, and then I majored it in college, and I taught art, elementary art in Detroit after that, and I've been doing my own work since I've retired. I love looking at art. I love looking at nature and seeing art in it, and that's what inspires me.
I like to look at things and see them in an unusual way, from top to bottom or side, rather than just straight on. That fascinates me, the different views.
I think the hardest thing is coming up with an idea. I like to travel, and where a lot of travelers take pictures to remember where they've been, I take pictures that maybe someday I'll paint that picture I've taken. But coming up with an idea is hard, but once you paint, it becomes easier.
And that's hard for me because I don't have a lot of ideas stored up, and I think about it, and I think about what would actually work in the medium that I'm going to paint in, because I work in several different mediums, and I have to discern which one would fit the subject matter the best. I work in several mediums. My main mediums are pastel right now is my biggest focus. I do scenic pastels. I also do watercolor. I take from Edie Joppich and take that each time it's offered. And I do colored pencil. I belong to the Colored Pencil Society of America. And this summer I got an Outstanding Art Award at the National Convention for Colored Pencil in Dallas, Texas.
Wonderful. And my primary medium right now is watercolor. I also take lessons. I think most artists continue to take lessons to enhance their skill and their talent. I have done colored pencil, but I really prefer watercolor.
I went through an Art Nouveau period where I did figures very similar, becoming part of branches, becoming part of other objects, and Botticelli influenced me at that period in my life.
And I like the Impressionism. I like to be loose and sort of fuzzy and have my viewer look at my paintings and try to figure out what's going on. I do most of my work on the dining room table. I don't have a gallery, or I don't have a workshop. I do take classes and I do my work there, but I like doing my watercolor painting on the dining room table.
And I do mine in my basement on an art table. Otherwise, I go to Kehoe and paint for 3 hours on Fridays usually, and I take classes too.
I think my most important is my education. The classes I've taken, the people I've met in my classes, the teachers I have had.
I would say the same for me. Teachers I've had, it was very different in high school. We did very realistic work. And then in college, it was primarily a design program. And so that when I first started, when the first design, they laughed at me because I had never had any exposure that way. Because the more exposure you have, the better you'll become yourself, and you'll have a lot of resources to draw on.
And I agree with Mary Ann completely. Artists, even famous artists, have always taken lessons. You need to study all the time, and you just don't know how you will grow and how you will expand and how you will pick up new ideas by different teachers.
My art has changed in that I've gone through periods of art where I've done different things. At one point I did highly patterned pen and ink drawings with watercolor, and then another period I did acrylic angels done in unbleached titanium white and gold and raw umber, and they were mostly portraits of people who deceased and living.
I think mine has changed. I've gained a lot more self-confidence in my art, and I think I'm much freer and willing to experiment more than I used to be, and that's really exciting as an artist. And I like doing any type of subject matter. I kind of lean towards flowers, but anything that sparks my interest, I do. I think my strength is color. I absolutely love bright color. In fact, I'm going to be taking a class soon that we're going to be working in black and white, and that's going to be difficult for me because I react emotionally to color, and that's the type of paintings I generally do.
The thing that I do most is trees. Trees are my stock and trade, you might say. I like doing trees at different times of the year, and lakes or creeks or ponds. I, like Mary, struggle a little bit with drawing. I'm a good drawer, but I don't particularly like to draw. I like to get to the painting stage, so that's something I struggle with.
And I agree entirely. You have to draw generally to plan your idea and before you can actually start painting it. But I know I can draw, but I'd much rather be holding a brush than a pencil. I think my favorite piece is generally the one I just completed. I hate to say it, but you usually like the one you've just finished the best. But I think in this particular show, my favorite one is the one called, I'm drawing a blank, Animal Print. And I absolutely am fascinated by the new trend in fashion with animal print clothing and accessories, and I thought, oh, that would be fun. So I researched different wild animals that have a print, giraffes, tigers, things like that, and I drew them and cut them out and placed them around my paper, and then I thought, well, I'm going to need something in the center to actually anchor these animals, and I thought, well, an elephant would anchor these animals, but an elephant is not patterned, so I put polka dots on him. And I think that it's more whimsical than I normally do.
I did a series of Heinz Park. My favorite picture is the picture behind me. It was one of my first pastel scenes that I did after taking some lessons. I developed a way to do scenic pastels that was on my own, but it was very different from what I took. And this is the first one that I did after the class, and I've had, it's been in several shows and won awards, so that it happens to be my favorite one. People tend to look at it when I show them, when I open up the portfolio or something and show them my work. I love to hear them say, oh, you know, to have they're not expecting what they see, and they react quite positively.
And I feel the same way. I love to show my work to people, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, if you want to use a phrase, but I love people's viewpoints, good or bad.
I hope to continue doing scenes, finding pictures that work well.
And I will continue painting. It's just a part of my life. In fact, in my retirement from teaching, I don't know what I do without my art. It just fills a void in me, and I will continue painting and showing my work.
That concludes our program for today. Thanks so much for joining us. And don't forget to stop by and see a new exhibit every month. The Fine Arts Gallery is located on the second floor of the Civic Center Library.